Dark tape, please. Steve?
Well, Sally, here we are again.
Here we are again. We seem to do this once a year.
It's great.
It is great.
It's a wonderful tradition. I don't want it to ever change.
Okay, we won't ever change it, Bobbie, you and me.
And especially when you're turning out performances like Kiss Me Goodbye, which is so delightful.
Oh, thank you.
A movie that is reminiscent of the 30s and the 40s and all those wonderful actresses of that era. I wonder, did you have any one or two or three actresses from that time in mind as you were putting together this character?
Not really, as I was doing my work. I try not to do that because then you sort of work you from the outside in and it should be coming from me. But I know that I've been really greatly influenced by watching that work as a child because instead of going out and playing or playing dress up or having a lot of little girlfriends over, I would stay home and watch old movies on TV, even as a little child, like 8 and 9 and 7 and 6 and 10 and 12. And Irene Dunne and young Rosalind Russell and Katharine Hepburn and Jean Arthur, and these people were my favorites. And I really studied. I remember sitting and studying Rosalind Russell. Her comedy was absolutely flawless. I mean, the people that I named, the women that I named, they were just unbelievable. So I know somewhere in my mind this is all stuck. I hope. I should be so lucky.
Besides entertaining us as an audience, Sally, I really got something out of that because I think, like a lot of women, we have to face the fact that because statistically we live longer, we have to face the fact that someday we might not have that husband. And it's for me, a terrifying thought. I just can't imagine my life without him. But we know intellectually that life must go on, and that's what this movie's about.
It's about that. And it doesn't even have to do with the death of a loved one, even though in this film it is that. There is divorce, there's just breaking up, there is... In some cases, we hold on to even our childhood as a way to keep us from moving on to the present. We sort of crystallize it and imagine it in a way that serves us, to protect us. And you have to let go. You have to move on and try new things and go another direction.
Sally, I wonder, at the time that you and Bert went your separate ways, did you go through any of that holding on?
Sure, absolutely. I don't think you can be in a really intense, meaningful, important relationship in your life for 5 years and not hold on to it somewhere and crystallize it and think about it and use it as a protection to moving on someplace else or trying a new type of person. It's human nature, absolutely.
What got you over it? Because Kiss Me Goodbye was not in the picture at that time, was it?
Oh, well, it's been many years, so it's just a gradual process, I think, of letting it go, trying new things, letting it go and growing away from it, letting it happen, putting it to rest. It's gradual.
In the movie, the man, Jeff Bridges, who plays your fiancé, is a totally different person from an entirely different background than Jolly,
right?
Played by Jimmy Caan.
Right.
Okay. So now in your life, are you looking for somebody totally different from anybody you've ever known in the past?
Yes, absolutely. I think in some ways it's time for me to move on from the way I've seen relationships. I think I have done what people do, and that is that I was holding on to things from my past and picking relationships that sort of served me in a certain way to kind of protect an image maybe of myself, and that doesn't serve me anymore. That's not what I am. That's not what I want in my life anymore. So to do that, you sort of have to just act like a wet dog and kind of go and just sort of shake it all off and start to see people, really see people, the way you really want to be seen.
What kind of man would be good for you?
Beats me. Gee, I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, would you prefer he not be an actor?
No. I really I have none of those things. Like, I don't want to be with somebody who's in the business, or I only want to be with people who are in the business. I think I think somebody who will be my friend. I think that's the first thing, and can cook. Low-calorie meals. I don't. I think if I knew more clearly, I think he would appear miraculously, just by positive thought. I don't think I'm ready for that to happen. So
Not ready for that?
So therefore, I don't know who I want.
Yeah. Let's talk about some other things. Christmas is coming up, and this is a series I'm doing of asking famous people if they could have anything in the world, money were no object, but something, you know, that you really could go out and buy or get.
And money were no object?
And money were no object. What would you most like to have?
Really? I'd like to have a farm.
Super.
I'd like to have a farm, not a big farm, and I don't mean like chickens and pigs. Actually, chickens and pigs, yes. But, I mean, not like a, ranch. Like, just maybe 10 acres and the East Coast, Maine, Connecticut. Not even 10 acres, 5 acres. And an old farmhouse. And that's what I'd like.
Have you ever experienced that sort of thing?
No, but I want to. It's in my mind. It's something that someday I want to do. I think about it a lot. I look in all the magazines that I get the farm catalog. There's that thing you get in, and each night I read about another state and the sort of land that's available and things. It's a fantasy of mine. I would like to do this one day, and have a place like that with trees and have it feel like home.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's a very realistic thing. You could do that.
You think?
Oh, it'd be wonderful.
Well,
Why
someday.
Why
Someday
not?
I would like to.
The house you have in the movie, most of it, the interiors, I guess, are set.
Mm-hmm.
But then the outside of the house, is that someplace here in New York?
Yes. Don't ask me where. I don't remember where we shot it. But it's here in New York. Most gorgeous townhouse. Just beautiful.
Now, the inside of it is really like we see?
No.
No, that's
No.
all set design.
Just the set designer did that.
You'd like to have a place like that?
Yes.
That is super.
Yes, that's the other place. That's to go with my farm in Connecticut. A place in New York and a farm in Connecticut. Don't you think?
Why not?
And then if I can think of what I would like from a man, then we'll put him in there too.
Okay. Well, I'm going to think real positive thoughts for you about this man.
Oh, not yet. I'm not ready.
Oh, all right, all right. We'll
I'll
put
tell
that
you
on
when.
hold, and the next time we have an interview next year, okay?
Okay.
Sally, I've never told you this before, but I want it on record. This young lady is an interviewer's dream, and I just wanted to say that on the record because you are.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally.
So are you. You know that? An interviewee's dream.
Thank
You're
you.
terrific.
The Mutual Admiration Society.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Sally.
Thank you.
No, but
Okay, keep the tape on.
I've said that so many times, and
Yes,
I
we'll pick
just
it.
never have said it on the record.
Well, thanks.
Okay. Now then, let's get
Too far.
organized here. Oh, all right.
Not here.
Okay. Cut me from the waist up. Just get the notes out of the picture.
Steve, you need the whole chair turned a little more?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll,
Okay.
is that good?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Do your thing.
All right. Reactions first. And is this a good place to look about here?
That's fine.
Okay.
God, that's hard. How do you do that? It's like seeing a ghost for the first time.
Okay, questions.
Quiet, please.
Sally, were any stars of the 30s or 40s a particular inspiration for you in this role? this movie is about letting go. Now, when you and Bert went your separate ways, did you go through some of this pain of letting go? So how did you overcome it? What kind of, no, that's right. Are you now looking for someone entirely different? What kind of man would be good for you? Sally, Christmas is coming up. If you could have anything in the world and money were no object, what would you like to have? Super. This house you have in the film, Kiss Me Goodbye, the outside of it, is it really a place here in New York? The inside of that house, is it like what we see in the movie, or is this just set designer? Okay, I think that will do it. I
Okay,
think so.
stop tape.